Hey friends, welcome to Friendship Friday. We're back again. I have one of my special helpers with me today, and your name is
Drew. Hi.
Drew's my youngest son, and he is the one who just had a birthday and he turned 12. I'm going to say it every week. No, that'll be the last time I mention it, I promise. And we're here to talk about some friendship skills. Drew's going to help us this week. He's going to help us talk about how you make a new friend, because that can be a really hard thing for some of us. And other people make it look like it's really easy to make new friends. So, Drew, can you give us a tip? What is something you think of as a way to make new friends?
Well, something you always have to do is just be yourself. Try not to do any lies. Lie to make yourself look cooler, or do any of that to make yourself have more friends. Just be yourself,
That
and then real friends will come to you. Sorry.
that's interesting, because don't you think that some people do try to be something that they're not?
Yes.
Because I see that sometimes, and that was even when I was a kid, people would do that. They would try to be cooler, whatever that means, right? Try to be cooler than they actually are, or try to be somebody who they really aren't. And it's interesting to see that that's still happening today. Maybe that's just something that always will happen.
I think that will always happen.
Do you remember when you were young, some of your first friends? How did you meet them?
Well, mainly just in schools or or teams I joined. Mainly it was soccer because I used to play in a MUSA team when I was in preschool, and like all my friends was there. So that's how I met a lot of them.
That's right. That's our town, or the couple towns around here. They have MUSA, which is Mainland United Soccer Association, MUSA. So yeah, it starts really young with the little guys running around, and it looks like a big herd. And they have lots of teams, but they do. They all get to play and they
Yeah.
have a good time. And sometimes they get distracted and they go off to the side.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you would do after practice?
After soccer practice,
Mm-hmm.
I remember at the end of the season we used to go get ice cream.
That's true. You would.
Eat oranges.
You would eat oranges. That really started more when you were in travel soccer. But when you were younger, you'd go over to the playground. And when you go
Oh
over to the
yeah.
playground, all the kids, no matter whether they were on your team or not, they'd all be together and
Yeah,
play.
there was like 70.
It was crazy. But that was a good way to kind of meet people.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a good way to see who you clicked with and who you didn't click with. And then also the parents could talk a little bit too and get to know each other as well. Um, I'll tell you one thing I think that you do really well is you are a very positive person. Even when things get tough, you usually really try to look on the bright side. So I know that for Drew, if he's really getting down in the dumps and he seems kind of negative, then there must be something up with it. So if he's like, I have no friends, or nobody's getting along with me, or things aren't going well, I know that things must be really bad for you at that point, because you always seem to be pretty positive.
And I also do not like loud noises. So if anyone wants to be my friends, do not yell a lot.
Really? Oh, I could see that. One of the things, though, I think that you do is, and it's kind of interesting because I used to do this too, and I didn't realize it until one of your teachers commented this year, is you often will look for people who don't have a lot of people hanging out with them, and will go hang out with them. Like at gym, some of the kids,
Yeah.
without saying their names.
Um, we're not really good friends, but we talk sometimes.
Mhm.
Most of those kids.
Right. And well, it was more like that you were including them. Whether you don't always have to be best friends with someone, but hey, you see somebody who may just be hanging off to the side, right? You're kind of like, oh, come on, come play with us for now, and then you play for a while, and then everybody goes in their own directions. But I feel like you seem to be pretty good about that. And if you don't notice it, and someone says, hey, what about including this one? You're not kind of like, nah, they're not cool enough. Do you see that sometimes though, where other kids are like, oh, they're not cool enough to hang out with? How do you think that other person must feel? It must be hard.
There's only there's only sometimes when I do something like that when they be so mean to me. Like I tell them to stop and they keep being mean.
Mm-hmm.
Um I um and they asked me and my friend if they do if they be mean to me once, twice, three, 4 times, it's fine. I'll forgive them. But if they do like 10 or 12 times, I just will be.
Isn't there like a magic number with your group of friends?
I actually have 2 groups of friends.
Oh, okay. But there's one group of friends, isn't it? Like if up the 13th time and then you're out or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is it 13?
Yeah, you get 13 tries, but and we remember them.
Yes. So watch out. No, just kidding. But that's an awful lot of tries. And I think what's important, though, is to remember that we're all capable of making mistakes and we all have to keep trying. But when you're trying to make a new friend, just try and, look around. Put yourself out there, say hello, try to introduce yourself, and just be yourself, because a lot of times people want to go towards someone that they see as fun and that is doing things that they like to do. Somebody maybe who is really outgoing, if that's how you are, or maybe a little bit more quiet and to the side, if that's how you are. So, anything else you want to say before we go?
Well, there's one more thing about friends that you need to say. You should try not to get angry at them so quickly. You should first understand why they're angry, and then so you don't just lose one friend. You should understand first, and maybe say I didn't and if you did something wrong, you should say I'm sorry or something like that. And yeah,
that's a really good point. And that's huge, and that's really, really hard to do. I mean, my husband, your dad, will always say I always had a hard time saying that I'm sorry. A little bit better, I don't know, just a little bit. But it's a really important thing to be able to say you're sorry. Actually, a lot of times now I say I'm sorry too much. Some of the parents of the clients that we have and some of the staff we have say I'm sorry. That I say I'm sorry too many times. So I kind of have to find a balance in there. Anyway, that's a little bit of friendship advice from the Chakowski 2 right now. We hope you have a great weekend and enjoy what Miss Logan or maybe even a guest person might be having to tell you. And we'll see you next week.